Good morning, UPBOptionMillionaires.com. September 11, 2014. It's a Thursday. It's hard to believe it's been 13 years. I remember the day vividly in the morning. It was the bright sunny skies, nice, cool, crisp morning. So let's mourn the loss of the innocent victims of that day. And I remember at the time thinking that things would never be the same. And I guess deep down they aren't the same, but things are pretty much back the way they used to be. And so we'll see. The president was on last night talking about what he's going to do with ISIS. I see a lot of funny comments about the plan and what the name of it is. But nonetheless, look, stock futures are lower here. We're down almost 0.25%. And we've seen this theme really since we hit our all-time highs back in August, where we'd get stock futures selling off late in the week. And like they did yesterday, and if you pull back, there's the S&P 500 futures here. Yesterday, we pulled it back about an hour into the trading session. I brought this up in the chat room at OptionMillionaires.com. That historically, over the last 5 years, if the market pulls back about an hour and 15 minutes into trading sessions, when you start to see the rally. And we had a nice rally. Off the lows, we closed just about at session high. So we've been pulling back. We've retraced about 50% of the move up from yesterday's lows, which is not a bad thing. You don't want to see the market go straight up. Of course, though, we did retrace. For instance, look at the gains we had. Last week, we retrace it and continue to the downside. So is this just a pattern of pulling back from the all-time highs? We hit all-time highs here back a little over a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. And we're starting to pull back. Where are we going to stop? That's the question. You see with support here, and you can see where we bounced right there, S&P 500 futures, where we were at support a couple weeks ago. Is this going to be, and if you look, and I've been talking about this for a while, see these moves that we've had, wild swings, it's all digestion. This is a consolidation of the record prices. You don't hit record highs and just go, hi ho, it's up to higher prices we go. No, it's consolidation. You have the people who have been in for quite a while, selling out for a profit, waiting for another place of entry, and then you have people who have been waiting to get in, buying at this juncture. So we'll see what can continue as far as is the market going to end its consolidation phase and head to new record levels? Or are we going to continue to pull back, which is quite possible? And you look at some of the support levels. There's a lot of them, and you'll see them if you go to Twitter, go to StockTwits. A lot of people have some great opinions there about where the market's headed. But let's look at some individual names, because I think as this digestion continues, individual stocks will work in this market. One of the stocks that has been working for me, CRR. So anyway, this is the S&P 500 ETF, the spiders, the 20-day, 30-minute chart. You can see, we've been pulling back, but in the whole scheme of things, it's just been a digestion. That's it. And we're not too overbought. We're not too oversold here. Let's look at CRR, because I brought this up at StockTwits. I brought this up. I put it on the Twitter account. I also put it up at the blog at OptionMillionaires.com. Look at this. Beautiful. We're right at long-term support. This is a stock that was $155 a couple months ago. Not saying it deserves to be there again, but what I am saying is that it's hit support at $100, the nice round figure that has acted as resistance in the past, and support recently brought us up to 110. I'm looking for a move to at least 110, possibly $120. So that CRR, again, I don't know what somebody said shale, fracking, something like that. I haven't done too much research on the stock. I'm just looking at it from a chart perspective. That's it. And here we go. We're starting to bounce here. We're oversold. Now we're getting into that level where we can get into the overbought territory, which would bring us to about 110, 115. So I like CRR here. ESI was down again yesterday. ESI is a bankrupt education stock that I keep bringing up here at my videos and up at the blog at OptionMillionaires.com and StockTwits and Twitter. I'm in the $8 and $9 calls that expire next week, and I'm looking for that move up to $10. So we'll see if that happens. Again, if you can look over since the start of the year, it's a $45 stock. We did have the one bounce, and I actually called this. See the support it hit, the support levels, and that's why a lot of people, charts don't matter. They do matter. Look at the support line. We hit support resistance. Now acting as resistance 3250, but the support worked great back in January and February when I called for that move. It did happen, and then it's been nothing but selling ever since. Massive short interest. So at some point, if we don't get any news or anything negative from the company, the shorts I think are going to start. Hey, take your profits and move on. You're up 95% on your short trade, which would send the stock higher. That might be one reason. We have earnings report coming out. Also, if you look, just this year alone, it's been a steady sell-off, steady sell. And now it's kind of bottom. See how we're just kind of flatlined here? So get the paddles on this thing. We'll see if we can get it over $10. Let's look at some other charts. Google, which has been pulling off its recent highs. It's been a nice rally. Look at this trend line. This trend line that I drew back at the start of May has worked really nicely. And you can see we're right at the start. We're right at the cusp. I'll zoom in there for you. We're right at the cusp of support. See how we bounce off support here? And then we're consolidating. We're still not overbought, so I expect this rally to continue the rest of the week for Google. How about Twitter? Twitter had a nice rally, upgraded. And again, I'm very bullish on the stock long term. I'm not into calls, but it was up almost 5%. Company came out after the bell yesterday and said, hey, we're going to raise $1.3 billion. Hey, who cares? We've seen that in the past with LinkedIn and some of the other Momo stocks raising capital, which would have a short-term negative effect on the stock price, but long-term, bullish. JB at Option Millionaires posted it on Twitter about, I believe it was LinkedIn when it was at $71, did a capital raise and look at it now. Over $200. So not saying that's Twitter's going to go over 200% to the upside, but I do think this is a $100 stock over the long haul, possibly by the end of the year. Same with Facebook. I think Facebook was a nice upgrade this morning from an analyst. I think Facebook's heading over $100. I don't like the stock. I don't like this market. But guess what? There's no other game in town, and you can see that that philosophy is shared by all the bulls out there. That's the only thing that really scares me, is that we're getting a lot of the bulls hopping on the bandwagon. Let's go to Lulu. Lulu. Earnings this morning, surprise analyst, and yeah, when I was looking at earnings report this morning when I got in, it was up at about the 41. I was like, all right, well, the 41s were pretty accurately priced via the option market. No, the 43.70, here we go, we're hitting highs here. That's a nice 200-300% gain for the call. So congratulations, call buyers. And it's funny, if you go to Twitter, it's great. You can find other people's opinions, perspectives on stocks. We're talking about Lulu continuing lower. And somebody put it pretty appropriately that the downside was already priced in. And look at Lulu from a long-term chart perspective. The stock has been hammered. That's a 6-month. Go back even further. It's 82.50. Let's see, is that the high? Now this is post-split, so you can see it had trouble breaking that 82.50 level. I believe it split at least 2 for 1, so this is a $160 stock. But nonetheless, you can see it's kind of flatlined here. Flatlined, found support at this level. Now it's heading up. So we could be looking at Lulu coming back up to this trend line here at $55. Congratulations, call buyers and longs. How about GLD, which has been in a downtrend here? I would look for support here at 115. We're at 120.26 at the close yesterday, and we're continuing lower. Let's look at gold futures real quick. Gold was up initially this morning, and look at it now. It lows at a session, so it's down almost 0.5%. Crude oil. I was talking about this in the chat room. It's like everybody's talking about oil. They're like, hey, when it's higher, it's a tax on the American people. But when it's lower, you don't hear about it. It's like, this is a good thing. If it costs less to fuel up your car, that's more crap you can buy. More iWatches and toys. So that's good. We're at the lows of the session here for crude oil. So gas prices should be heading lower. That's good news. Assuming that big solar storm doesn't wipe everything out, and we live like barbarians for the next 6 months. All right, FEYE. James Cramer was on, he had Pan W on Palo Alto Networks on last night, talking about his favorite security company. I like FEYE. FEYE. And you can see I was talking about it when it was $28, even less than that. I was in the call contracts. I'm looking for that move up on FEYE up to, over the $40 level. We'll see if that happens. Pan W was up on earnings yesterday, up 10%, and James Cramer had him on. Says this is his favorite one in the whole field of security stocks. So we'll see. I don't know how much Pan W paid to be on Cramer. Maybe FEYE could do that and get their stock up higher. TLT, which again broke below resistance here. Trendline resistance. I brought this up 2 weeks ago. 2 Fridays ago, I was in the 119 puts at 80 cents and doing pretty well on those last week. This week, continuation to the downside. Support could be down here, and I'd just like to see TLT just a gradual move. Gradual. Let's not get too crazy here. It was down almost 1% yesterday. Gap down and kind of consolidated. So I would like to see TLT just continue a slow melt lower. Again, as people exit bonds, where are they putting that money? Stocks. Netflix just off a new record level yesterday. It was up 1%. Again, it's 2 days away from options expiration tomorrow for the weeklies. And I would look for the stock in the short term to head over $500. This looks like another consolidation. We have the nice move up, consolidation, over $500. Pretty wild. This is a $55 stock. JB at Option Millionaires was talking about it. And then finally, Carl Icahn agreed, got into it. How about brings me to Whole Foods. This is another stock that's been kind of, just grinding along here, kind of dead and dormant after falling from earnings misses, and everybody's talking about, kind of reminds me of Lululemon a little bit. Lululemon. If you look from a 5-year chart perspective, we're right at support here. We hit $65. So I'm looking to move up to 50. This could be one of those stocks that somebody looks to get into because Whole Foods their market share isn't decreasing. This is a company that's still growing. So I like this stock for over $40. I'm in the $39 calls. They're at like 17 cents. I got 2 days until expiration. We'll see if that happens. Very high risk trade. Priceline, I'm in the calls here as well. I talked about this in the chat room. Somebody asked me, where Priceline headed? I said, hey, there's a good chance it's heading to 11.10. But short term, we're starting to get oversold. If you pull up a 5-day chart, you can see what I'm talking about. Now, I'm in the calls for a bounce. We're starting to get that bounce. We did hit our lows 2 days ago. Yesterday, we had a nice day up over 0.5%, 0.75%, almost 1%. So I'm looking for that move to 1,200. We'll see if we get it today. All right, I'm running out of time here. So we got Twitter and Facebook, very bullish from the analysts today. We got Alibaba next week. We have earnings reports, Five Below missed. Lulu is doing well. Let's check out Five, how it's performing. It was under 40. Oh, there it is. Yeah, 41. So it was a big miss. And we have Lulu, which is soaring to the upside. Still going. It's going back. It's gone for the call buyers and people who got into the stock before the earnings report. Congratulations. Stocks do go up in this market. Oh, there we go. Still going. 44.7. Shall I keep going? It's at 44.17, 44.17. Do we have a 44.20, 44.20, 44? All right, let me end it here. We could be waiting a little bit. There it is, 44.15. There it is, 44.20. All right, I can end the video now. Everyone have a great trading session. 11 a.m. this morning, I'm going to do a live webinar and go over how to lose money trading stock options. It's going to be pretty interesting. I hope. So I'll see you then. If not, I'll see you in the chat room at optionmillionaires.com. Have a great day. Goodbye.